everybody, and welcome to Graded Point Live tonight. And we are talking to Mr. Adam Post, who has a new book to show off tonight. Just went into last week. Saturday, you went live with your project.
Yep, Saturday, March 7th, College
Yep.
of the Dead, graduation day.
Which is the sequel to College of
the Dead.
Yeah.
A lot of zombies. Ooh.
So let's address real quick, because most of the people who are here were watching the Wingcast, and in the middle of the Wingcast just went away.
Yeah. The Wingcast got a copyright warning or a strike warning.
Yeah.
And the warning just seems to be about, there was a couple of seconds of that guy whose girlfriend is doing thought streams for cash. And she was kind of getting a little too friendly on a stream, but it was a private, sold stream. So YouTube doesn't want you showing any implied sexual content, especially without people's consent.
Right.
And there's 2 seconds of whatever, but it's enough to freak out their algorithm. So they're watching. They're watching every second. It's watching right now. Hopefully it wants to buy College of the Dead.
There you go. So
exactly.
Yeah, just let's see that theme. Let's see what they're saying in the chat. That theme is still more unsettling than the recent performance of "Fly Me to the Moon." Oh, well, I don't know about that.
That says a lot. Yeah, it's about 50-50. It depends on your taste.
Oh yeah. If you love anime, people love it.
I try to make sure that Wenger sings in every stream, at least one song. But I think we should do like a whole 2-hour Wengcast of him singing.
Just a little karaoke Wenger string.
It doesn't have to be karaoke. Just he does just sets of Wenger unplugged.
I liked his "I don't want to vote for Joe Biden."
Yeah, that was good.
Good rendition.
Really good.
A friend of mine made a little video for him.
I saw it, the hard rock, the metal version.
Yeah,
that was good too.
Like, here's our new national anthem. I don't want to vote for Joe Biden. I don't want to vote for Joe Biden. I was like, well.
Yeah, that was based on a tweet that some annoying Bernie Sanders fangirl was. They're such weird people. That's all just weird people.
Very strange. Very strange.
Just, people used to try to be normal, and it did make you have to fit in and give up some of your weirder ideas. But it's a little bit better to do that sometimes, at least in front of other people, than get wacky at home. That's how we used to do it.
Yeah. So Kevin Spladey said he wants a Wenger Pippert duet.
The internet's ready for that.
Crossover special event, maybe a Christmas special.
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. Gonna make it big. Make it big.
Yeah, make it huge. Get both audiences together.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a good
time.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So just to let everybody know, you won't see any weird sexual connotations on our stream tonight. Adam, I will put this because I heard something about a penis was shown. I didn't die, but I made this banner
Dick
just
Docs.
in case. Yeah, Dick Docs 2020. Just in case there was a Dick Docs, then that means people would know we were discussing it.
Yeah, Phil from Magic Cop was on, so I don't know if he was wearing pants or not. He kept mentioning his brother, so I don't know.
True. I didn't think about that. Yeah, and also and somebody said that it was earlier in the chat here when they were talking about it. Said that it was possible Carl was naked, but he didn't have the camera on, so it shouldn't have counted, right? I mean,
yeah, Carl is, I think, often naked when he's on streams. Often. Mm-hmm. What's funny about Carl is, and Carl said this, I think, a couple times, that the girls don't like him in his country, in Ireland. He's like, they don't like him there. It's not his kind of guy. And then here, though, women are crazy for Carl. So he's thinking about coming here, but then if he came here, then probably maybe they wouldn't like him. I don't know. I don't know. He's a lovable guy.
The allure was when you were over there. Now you're over
here. When you can't have him. But also the women that like him, I don't know, they might be a little bit out of his age group, and who knows what they look like or whatnot. But I don't know. He does have a following. People love Carl. He is a really good guy. He is a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Except that he's a jerk. But other than that,
well, he doesn't appreciate your style of simping. That's just,
He doesn't know good simping when he sees it. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. That means the gauntlet just got thrown down. Is what that's there.
Yeah, there's going to be Carl War.
The Adam Carl War of 2020.
Yeah.
In between the Corona outbreak was the the mini battle.
That will not stop us. Mm-mm. There's no pandemic or zombie apocalypse or meteor hitting the earth is enough to slow us down. Even we're going to keep fighting till the end.
That's right.
Mm.
You'll be the last two on Earth still battling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it'd be like, what's the point, man? What's the point? Just to show them I can beat you, Carl. Exactly.
Well, Carl's a younger man, so you'd have your work cut out for you, you know. But
Yeah, he's
you
easy
have
to-
experience though, so
Yeah, he's very easy to trick though. So he's very dull.
I mean,
So-
he was convinced to take his shirt off on stream, so you know.
Yeah, and he did get convinced of that. But that was on War Campaign, so kind of anything goes on War Campaign.
That's true. Yeah. Well, actually, it was on Ethan, but it was War Campaigner it was Roe who convinced him to.
Oh, right, that was
Rogue.
Ethan's show. That was when he passed out. Okay. Yeah.
Just in case I forget, pimp the poll. Oh, yeah, we'll show that poll in a minute. In fact, I can get a.
Yeah, that poll's pretty popular of your guys' character.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna, I don't know, find a way to retweet it again, but
just-
the mailing list on it.
Oh yeah. Well, I just saw your account and then it disappeared. Piper, hold on.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea. I think it was a cool idea to have people give feedback on the colors of the costume and stuff.
And to get people involved in the project, you know, that's
Some engagement.
exactly. Let me.
And they picked the right one. They picked the one that I liked.
Would you like A2?
I liked the most popular one, whichever that one was. It was like,
Oh, okay,
it was
got
two colors, I think.
That's that one's the
Cool.
I got man, you Piper, you post too much. That's your problem. Okay, I found it.
Piper, you have the most reach. You do the poll. Piper, you post too much. How do you think I get them people?
Well, you do have me there.
Talking to them.
You got me there, so I can't really say much. So share this.
Also boobs, but
Yep, that's true. So yeah, here it is. It's like, you know, for our Peregrine project. These are the options. Make it a little bigger there so people can see it. I think behind the scenes we all said we don't want this one to win.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised how many people like that one, considering
I
all
am
the
too.
pink.
I kind of like this one. You know, if you're going to have some pink on it, just like a highlight.
Yeah, that
know?
one was my favorite, but I want to mess with it.
Yeah,
But color scheme, that one's my favorite.
we got some edits that we could do on that one. If I was going to pick two, it would be this one and C.
Yeah, those are, I think, the two most popular ones.
Yeah, the problem with C is it's too close to D. Like there's some extra color, there's some variation, but it still has more of a generic look than B does.
Yeah.
For some reason, B looks like finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's and then we'll go look at the results. And yeah, I voted for D just because I wanted to get it out there because I knew it wouldn't win. But I didn't know that many people would vote for it. Oh man, I just realized C and B are tied.
I told you.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you. Those two are the most popular answers.
Wow.
C has been because it's the bird colors, strictly the bird colors. And B because of probably the same reason I like it. Like it's the bird colors, but with a little bit of pink.
I posted the link in the chat to her tweet. So if anybody hasn't voted on it yet, if you feel free to vote for it. Wilberforce Rooster for $10 says option C is the best, hands down. Thanks for making a poll on Twitter for us non-Twitter users. Pink is bad always. Okay. Well, that just means you need to go make a Twitter account, brother.
Well, go get on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free, brother. I mean, you don't have to get involved in like the crazy simp wars and
Yeah, it all starts that way, and then we talk to you privately. We're like, listen, you need to take a side. People need to know where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna have a Twitter account, no, you don't. You do whatever you want to do.
And Liam Gray says, I think the pants are. I think we all agree that like the whole thing was color scheme. Like,
yeah, but would you take that from a guy who's got a blue curtain behind him? I don't think so. Liam Gray has blue curtains, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have red curtains.
All right, we got to discount that. We got if his colorist, the Scotsman guy, said it, then I would go for that. But
yeah,
otherwise,
this one, I should say, like as far as costume, the costume here is more complete. Like you were saying, Adam, this is kind of because we kind of want to go with that look.
Yeah, it just looks. It really looks finished. It looks finished. Like that one. That project's ready to go. You know, as successful as it's going to be. The other ones, they look either like A looks generic, and C looks also generic, and D just looks muted.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have to think of it as if this was like a cover by itself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so if this was just a cover by itself, B would sell. and C would just be like, nothing is jumping out here. You know,
Right.
it's if she was somebody's little sister or something like that, if she was like not an important character,
Mhm.
it wouldn't matter, right? But you know, she's your Superman sort of. She's iconic, so
Mhm.
she needs to pop.
Yeah. And as Scott put it out in the chat, you know, of course, the boob windows are very important.
Yep,
Because boobs.
got to work with what you
Yeah, I
got.
really think the white top helps with the boobs thing. But also Mobigs, it's for the colors, not the
Mhm.
costume design, just the
Yeah,
colors.
just the color scheme. Yeah. And
Mhm.
but yeah, okay. So B is slightly taking the lead right now.
As
He was
well it
holding the
should.
lead for a while, but
Everybody vote B and vote often.
Yeah. We don't mind you if you cheat. Let's be honest.
Let's mail in this thing. Get B.
yeah. Okay, I want B to win. I want to work with that.
Yeah, B will win.
But
Yeah.
I will for those that are like no pink, that was one of the tweaks that I kind of wanted to make, was a slightly less pink.
Yeah.
Pink in very important areas instead of sprinkled throughout.
Yeah, it would be like maybe highlighting the window and
Yeah, no pink on the shoulders and the little arm thingies. Those straps could probably be gray because I think that would probably make more sense.
yeah, I think
Just
gray
just
strap.
pink boob window and pink in the shoes.
Yeah.
I think we talked about making this white instead of pink.
Yeah, just pink in the bottom of the shoes where
Yeah,
it
that
is.
would be
Leave
cool.
that pink.
And I think I should point out, some people think these are actually the way we explained it. You know, her gloves and this are kind of like impact guards instead of, you know, it looks like they're part of the costume, which, you know, obviously you want, but it's basically so she doesn't hurt somebody too badly.
Maybe give her heels.
Oh,
A little impractical, but you know.
yeah.
I know,
Everybody
so
likes a nice
impractical,
pair,
but
yeah.
I love the superhero outfits that have a bit of heel.
Sure.
It's just more feminine, even though, yeah, it would suck kicking butt in that. But
Super heels. They could be retractable or something, you know, electronically retractable. High tech.
Mhm.
All my heels are electron. Well, you know, you could have a shoe phone like Get Smart used to do that.
I remember that. Used to watch that on Nick at Night.
There you go. It's doable. Well, it's a cool character. It's going to be fun.
Yep. So that's enough of that. I don't want to take up all that time because we want
Exactly.
to talk about your project.
We're going to talk College of the Dead action.
Mhm.
We ought to hit the trailer because the trailer is so awesome. And
Yeah,
damn
this
it
is
with
a-
Liam Gray. Get Liam Gray off my screen. Liam, get out of here.
Oh, is this
Damn
the
you,
one?
Liam.
I forgot to.
No, I
yeah,
can't.
he's up.
There it is. There we go. So when you know, sometimes I go away to, you know, to go up, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to go find it.
It's all Liam Gray's fault.
And there you go. Ted Gazzaro says Adam thinking with his dick.
Ted made this video, actually. Yeah, he's really, really good at this.
Yeah, he's been making quite a few videos. He's getting out there.
He's going to be our CG trailer king. He's raising the bar, man. He's raising the bar.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this. Man, millennials got it rough.
Super
They
quiet.
do.
Oh, there we go.
I was about to say the sound is very.
Yeah, it was low. It was because I had it low. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Badass.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
the sound of like dripping. Things are dripping off their mouths and stuff in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrible, scary, weird sound effects. He just put it together perfectly. And sometimes I would find something, I would send it to him, and he'd just compose it. But we spent, on and off 2 weeks working on that, and it was perfect timing. I saw a video he did for Through the Woods for Vinny Tartamella, and I loved how it came out. So I was like, all right, great. I'm going to reach out to Ted and get this done. And He does them for other people. His standard rate, I think, is $250. That's what I paid, and well worth it. Just presents the stuff so well. So this is the full color sequel that takes place immediately after the events of College of the Dead, which was the first book, and it shipped in October 2019 on time everywhere in the world. And it's the same creative team, the same writer and artist on it. I work with those guys, but I almost always like to work with other creators when I'm putting comics together, so I can just kind of do as much of it or as little of it as I need to or want to do, and then also work on multiple projects. I have a couple of other projects coming too. But yeah, this is 48 pages, full color. It's completely done. All the lettering is even done. And we're just laying out the design now so that we can get test copies printed, which I should have by the end of the month.
Right.
But I'm really psyched to be shipping this sequel in June. Yeah, and I wanted to do color because everybody else was doing color. Like Carl has Deathsworn. Like everybody has these color books. Scott has Door Kickers. I really like the color in that. And actually, it's Scott's colors from Door Kickers, plus some color design from Kyle Ritter that got our colors looking so awesome in this comic.
Yeah, Farrah's doing the colors on Peregrine too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you picked a great lady to work with.
Yeah,
she's good people.
So it's gonna be. I'm really excited to see some finished pages.
You're gonna like it. My recommendation with working with people is, ideally you see a test page first, and then you see increments of like 5 pages at a time, so that if there's changes to make or something, usually there are some changes to make. It's just, especially if it's somebody new. We made some changes on this back and forth, and that's how you get the great work at the end. It's just how to make it perfect.
If you're not, you got to have somebody who's willing to work with you instead of I'm going to do it my way. And
you usually can if you communicate well, or somebody tells you straight up, like, listen, I don't do that. You just have to take what you get, and then if you're comfortable with that, it's fine. If not, then you need to work with somebody else. But I found the color of her shorts. Like I researched and I gave a photo reference for that, and then the artist Javier who drew it, he added the tears in her shorts because he knew what I was going for. In terms, that's part of the normal design of her shorts. But it's just you just keep doing these like little fine touches until you have exactly what you want. So that's one of the 3 covers. That is the arm and a leg cover. College costing you an arm and a leg. She's paying her price for college.
And of course, you point out that she's dead. She ain't
gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
So there's
got some more down here.
There's that one cover. Then there's this cover, which I've been showing for a while. I was showing it around when it was first in black and white, and then Farrah and Kyle figured out how to make it perfect with a couple of my ideas, but mostly them. And that's the regular cover of the Students of Zombies. And then there's this other one where this blonde girl is being surrounded by zombies. So she might make it. She might make it. She's got a chance.
And she's not in the process of being eaten too. So that's
no one's eating her yet.
Yeah.
No one's eating her yet. So she's okay so far.
Yeah.
Then as part of the campaign, I thought maybe there's some people that hadn't seen College of the Dead book 1. And people have been getting it. So I put that in there as part of kind of a package if you want to get College of the Dead 1 and College of the Dead 2. And it's also there as a separate add-on. I did add-ons on these two so that people can kind of make their own packages of what they want.
Right. Kind of give everybody a choice.
Yeah, because I'm finding like I don't want to force everybody to buy one of everything if that's not what they want to get. If they're like, well, I like this cover, but I also like that ash can. Like this ash can, that was the book from book 1. It's another 100-page book, but it's got the full script and it's got the rough layouts that Javier did that we approved, the artist. Nice. So this way, as for like comics production, I mean, honestly, I've made like over 1,000 comics, but even I learned a little bit, like kind of going through Stefan's script. Stefan's also a professor and he teaches graphic novel writing at a college. And everybody's like people that are really experienced in the business. They all have something you can learn from those kind of guys. If you can work with the old pro types, he's one of them. So, that was really neat. So the ash can was cool. So I brought it back. That's just the ash can for book 1. But it's very interesting to see how the book's made.
Yeah.
And that's part of the campaign also, and it's available as an add-on and in a couple different packages.
I like this. Like, I'm looking at this, this preview, preview of it. It's like, you're showing, like Frodo references of what you want and things like
that's
that.
and to say you is, I mean, really, it's
Well,
the team.
you as in y'all, I should say.
Y'all. It
Mhm.
includes Stefan. I lived in Florida for 10 years, so I'm down with the y'all too.
Mhm.
I found myself saying it a lot, even when I moved back up to New York. I was like, okay, I got to cut that out. People in New York are going to give me a hard time. But yeah, I love it because making the comics is like, to me, it's as cool as like the finished comic. And when you don't make comics, you don't get to see, the rough layouts. You don't get to see the full script, the photo reference. If you're in charge of it, like it's my thing, so I'm in charge of it, I get to say like, well, why are we doing this in this scene? Or I don't like this photo reference, or have you thought about doing it this way or whatnot? And very little of that had to go on with Stefan, because the guy is such a freaking pro. Pros, like, they're really good in execution, but and they know what they're doing, so they don't make stupid mistakes and things like that, and they're dependable. But also they know how to play you, like they know how to deal with someone who's over them, because they'll give you like, a summary of everything that they're going to do. And they'll be like, all right, so this is a summary, whatever. And then it's like, do you approve or not approve? Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, all right, now I'm going to proceed because you said it was okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, they kind of give you enough that like, what's going on, and you don't make them redo work. And you don't want anybody to. It's the main thing, like with producing stuff for me. It's just a good lesson, is like, I don't like anyone to have to waste their time. Whether it's the artist or the writer or anybody doing stuff, let them like do their best job, and don't waste their time, and everybody's going to be happy. And you can see the colors from Farah on this came out pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
It's looking good.
Seeing these make me more excited for what she's going to do on our book and all this.
Yeah. Well, get a couple pages, give her on, collaborate with Scott and give her honest feedback.
Yeah.
And also though, if she hasn't started yet, or well, she hasn't, just agree with what kind of a palette you're going to work with. Let her or you guys give a reference and be like, do you see the aesthetics of this Action Lab book, or whatever reference you'd use, or use mine and be like, I love what you guys did in College of the Dead. I want that kind of mood and energy with it. You can give that to a pro like Farah, and she'll keep it within that aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that it matters. It really matters to, what the great thing about references is, people know what's in your head that way. Because otherwise, if people make a mistake, it's not because they don't care. So never go to the first like negative. Go to the negative like on the 10th thing when it goes wrong, like for the 10th time or something. But always go to the positive, just like, what? I'm not communicating enough. Maybe I am for someone else, but maybe not for this person.
Right.
And English isn't her first language. If you communicate with her or not. So some words she's not familiar with. So it's like, and it's not just someone from another country. It's like just communicating with creating stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's just, that's what you got to do.
It's fun. It really is fun, because you get really if you're passionate about something and you really care about something, people can do it. And then the other stuff that you don't specifically direct is where they can then be organic with their contribution, and that you want them to add something to it. It makes for better work for everybody, because then everyone gets like excited about doing their best work.
Mm-hmm.
I really like collaborating with other people, because you can everyone like gets to do their best work, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's my, this is like, that's one thing. And our collaborating with Scott on our project was, been kind of been a hoot, as I say. And the biggest thing was like trying to keep it all secret. And Scott would get drunk and start talking about it, and like,
yeah. Well, it's his superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you have to look at it. Look at Cecil's superpower. I mean, same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut from the same cloth.
Can't wait for Comic Book Hut to put out his book, which he probably will never do. But
that's funny. I should collaborate with Comic Book Hut.
It's like, hey man, you want to? Do you want your own cash grab? Like.
Well, he had a following. It would be worth it. I want to rescue Mike Miller, but Mike won't tell anybody what his problem. What's the problem? The funny thing about Mike Miller's situation, I've brought it up like a million times. People are like, Adam, it's impossible to fix that situation. Critias's situation is straight up impossible.
Yeah.
The situation with Mike Miller, and it's funny, just as a quick side with Critias, recently someone's like, yeah, I saw tweets that Critias is, they're still working on the book and he's going to get it out. And I said, like, because I listen and I know this stuff. So I've been through this, like, comics publishing, like, a lot, so I heard that, Critias's artist is working on more. It's like, yeah, he paid like an idiot. He paid for 70 pages of work in advance and only got 40. So what they're talking about is the 30 pages, which still probably won't ever get delivered, but the 30 pages that guy, the artist, owes him for. And now there's been so much publicity about Critias not delivering and the artist getting paid and not, that the artist is like, oh, damn, now I actually have to do the work. I thought Critias was just going to disappear and get out of having to do that extra work. And I knew that's what the deal was. And then a couple of days later, it came out like, yeah, he's just delivering the pages that Critias already paid. I was like, oh, of course. But even like the Mike Miller situation, I would guarantee you that at least 25% of his problem is just that he's not really been in business long enough to understand like how to work out a problem the right way.
Yeah.
So I would, I do it for, it's not going to be good for Comicsgate if his book doesn't ship. But to me, it's also frustrating where it's just like, will you just, clean up that mess that's on the floor before somebody slips in it? Like all you have to do is run a mop over the effing thing and then like, no problem.
Right.
Also, what a waste. $178,000 Kickstarter crowd. Well, could have been a Kickstarter. Well, never be a Kickstarter, I guess, because he's of his racial, whatever his issues over Kickstarter. But almost a $200,000 crowdfunded book. And, now he's got people wondering if he's going to ship it or not. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because he's got that, and of course the Lone Star Redux. That was pretty disappointing. As far
as he did less than 20 grand on that.
And then there's that new one that I don't think is going to fund.
Bless This Mess.
Yeah.
What? It's just like, dude, it's just so unnecessary. So unnecessary. That's why it's just like, if it was just slightly better organized, I don't know. They may take more of a role in publishing and try to see if there's more people for me to collaborate with or whatever, because people will make some basic mistakes that are like, you ruined a great thing. Or someone will be working on a book and the artwork looks great. And the art is like fantastic, but maybe they didn't bring the story to an editor and maybe they just kind of like really don't know what they're doing with the story, but they're kind of writing a good idea, but they'll spend a year and, 20 grand or something doing something where it's like, you just need to be a little more careful about every aspect of what it is that you're doing to make a good project,
Just have a business plan, right? The biggest thing.
Yeah, but you got a plan is important, but part of that plan, even if you want to be disorganized and not have a plan, you have to have some expertise in each of the areas. And Comicsgate is so replete and just full and available with all sorts of resources of other people you can talk to. So you never have to go whatever the most complicated thing. You need help with coloring, you need help with an artist, you need help with lettering, you need help with an editor. There are people that are available. Some people just give you their advice or a little bit of help for nothing, and then other guys you pay them a fee. I don't do work for fees, but there's other guys that do work for fees that are very capable. And why not spend $1,000 on editing if you're going to spend, $10,000 on the comic or something like that? Like, just make the writing good. And Ted's fees for videos, like $250 for a video. For that trailer is $250. I can show that trailer forever. I'll make money from that trailer for the next, 20 or 30 years probably. So just do this stuff right.
Yeah. It's like Spartan Scotsman said, we have a deep bench of talent.
It's true. Yeah. It's a very, we do. And it's just a matter of coordinating and people also not being either too egotistical or too proud to be like, you know what, I'm a writer, but I think I know what I'm doing. But, maybe I could show my work to someone to show anybody who's listening, who's thinking about it. Professor Geek is who I use for editing, is like my number one go-to guy. And Michael Kreiser, and he's writing with me. We're actually co-writing G.I. Jackrabbits, the redo. Which is my comic from 1985 when I was 15 years old that I self-published, which started out as a parody of just G.I. Joe with rabbits and other creatures. Now it's really a whole world of cool character stuff based on that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, yeah. But I was gonna say, when I was mentioning like business plan and stuff, if somebody could, I've always said, because it's not, business plans aren't hard to put together, right? It's just like, it's basically sitting down, writing down, typing out, I need to do X, Y, Z, and ABC, know, and
these are what my costs are going to be, and this is what I'm projecting my expenses are going to be, and this is how these are the key resources I'm going to use to execute on this plan. So I need an artist, I need a colorist, and if you don't hire one every day, then it's special. Then it's like, well, how am I going to find the right artist? How am I going to find the right colorist? And how am I going to find the right editor? And to know that, all right, how are you going to launch your book? When are you going to launch it? Are you going to start with a pre-launch list of a good 300 people? Because if not, you will get cursed at by Sweetcast. Clint, he'll be furious with you.
Like, I don't trust Pipper as an editor until she edits the theme song out of the show. Well,
Pipper is not an editor.
Pipper is not the video editor either.
Yeah. For one, I don't do video editing, but for two, Pipper is not the editor.
Well, somebody in the chat, Ed is saying, Ed Filkins, I think, says he needs an editor for his book. I mean, there are people that will edit, but the one guy I know, because I'm letting him work with my work, and this is like my childhood thing, from when I published G.I. Joe Graphics in the past, and now it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets G.I. Joe. That's our vibe, and we're killing it. But I go to him. I know there are other guys that are good too that are in Comicsgate. But I always go to Professor Geek. He's got a great YouTube channel with a lot of references on writing and stuff. So
yeah, he's got a good channel. I enjoy his content.
Yeah. He taught me a lot. Just the whole archetype thing. I'm like, it just makes it so much easier to think in terms of archetypical characters and the way he describes them.
Delta Spurg Force says Piper causes video edits.
Let's be real here. It says her, but
well, I'm assuming he made it.
Delta Spurg Force is revealing secrets tonight. They caught Phil's shirt.
Oh,
it's pretty good. Yeah, they put that on Twitter already, where he got the shirt from.
They still were never to find. They were never able to find your top, were they? That from
nope,
that night?
not that one. Not that one top. Nope.
They found they found your other outfits and stuff.
I'm sure
I think to make up for it, the next time I was on video on a stream, they found that outfit. So
I'm sure they still have their people working on it. These hairs beat the turtles. Mo Biggs, not bad.
That's actually.
I'm actually ahead of him on Yellow Lantern. There we go.
Yeah. Mo Biggs writes about half the things I say. I just kind of look and see what he chat, and then I just repeat what he says. These hairs beat the turtles. I'm writing it down. I was looking for an idea. Actually, I don't think I even was. I was talking about a little bit about College of the Dead Book 3, because I'm going to do 2 of these a year now. Why not? I love this thing. And somebody suggested College of the Dead Spring Break in the chat.
Oh, that's
nice.
Like,
yeah,
that's exactly my vibe. So that's going to be number 3, even if I have to yell at the writer about it with him. You're like, that's stupid. We're not like, yeah, it's stupid. We're doing it. I love it.
Yeah. These hairs beat the turtles. That's good.
These hairs beat the turtles.
Yeah, that's a good tagline. Yeah.
Well, it's good internally, at least, just to focus on what we're doing. That's pretty cool. So you want to talk tiers? I got tiers. You want to talk tiers? Here we go.
Yeah, we want to talk tiers. Martin Scottson also says zombie boobies confirmed. So
zombie boobies confirmed. There will be zombie boobies everywhere in College of the Dead Spring Break, but you can't get to College of the Dead Spring Break until you've backed College of the Dead Graduation Day. Liam Gray, you troublemaker.
I just wanted to say to Liam, congratulations on Xenotype getting funded, bro.
Yeah. Way to go, Liam. Congratulations, man. Now print your 200-page color book and ship it all over the universe. My God.
That's kind of.
Liam can do it. Liam is going to deliver it. It's going to be gorgeous.
I forgot who. Somebody on Twitter said something, because when the whole thing with Critias and all that stuff been up, and somebody mentioned Liam, and somebody said Liam would deliver that by hand if he had to. He would get on a raft and cross the ocean and show up at your at your doorstep barefoot clothes ripped in twain just about, but he would deliver your book.
Yeah. No, Liam's getting that book out. Liam knows what he's doing. He's an interesting guy, but yeah, he really knows what he's doing. He brings so much to Comicscape.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about this first tier, the feature tier, all 3 book covers.
You get all 3 book covers. You got the Arm and a Leg cover, you got the Graduation cover, and you got the Hot Torch cover, as we call it. The blonde surrounded by zombies, not yet eaten.
So she might make it.
Pre-eaten. She might make it. You got like the girl gets surrounded by zombies. You got the girl getting eaten by zombies, and then you got they're all zombies.
Yeah.
So you got the sequence of events, the circle of life, like the Lion King song.
Yeah. And then we got.
I wish Wenger was here to sing that for us. All right.
Got a comic book Arm and a Leg cover.
Arm and a Leg by itself for the many people that actually really, really like that cover and just like, listen, that is a cool cover. I'm going to get that. That's going to be printed as a Virgin cover. We're not going to mess that up with the logo.
Yeah.
It's just too pretty. There's too much extra drawing in there. And that's the thing too, like when Javier's just getting down and doing his thing, I don't want to mess with him with logos. I'm going to let him do what he's got to do.
Right.
And we actually looked at a mock-up with that as a logo on it because we're going to do test prints on this for the end of March. I'm going to have copies of all these books in hand. And it didn't look right. I'm like, we're not doing a logo on it. Forget it.
Yeah.
Designer's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes.
Sometimes
yes.
I think sometimes when art's really good, you just leave it as a Virgin cover. You don't try to.
Well, yeah, especially too because like this is an extra variant cover.
Right.
So it's like a Virgin variant, which is good for college girls. Virgin variant. There you go. All right. Then you also have the College of the Dead graduation cover, which is that beautiful color piece. People like that. That one's going to have a logo on it, and it'll look cool.
Yeah. And then we got the Hot Torch.
Hot Torch by itself, and there are some people that like that one. I had to relist some of the listings because I wanted the Arm and Leg one at the top, so I had to hide some of the other tiers to kind of
That's why they're showing as 0.
Yeah, that's why it's showing as 0 because we did about 10 or so of those by itself. But I was like, nah, let me move these around because I don't want people thinking like just to get the coolest one that people seem to like the most, the Arm and a Leg cover that they had to buy 3. Yeah, 3 books. Like that's because that's not right. It's too much.
Yeah.
If you want them, buy them. If you don't want them, buy the one you want.
Just like
buy the one you want.
Isn't Raging Golden Eagle now like the only way you can get that the uncensored tentacle cover is with the like 3-pack or something?
You know what? I don't know.
I think I saw that. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering.
Yeah, he had a bunch of really cool tiers and drawn-in tiers and all sorts of expensive stuff, and his audience just ate it up, and they love him, and well deserved. The brunette is the hottest. Damn right, Simon. I'm with you, brother. And what I also did was I added all the books individually as add-ons. So if somebody's like, well, I want the Hot Torch cover and I want the prequel book and just the ash can, then they can kind of mix and match whatever the heck they want. So this is the prequel plus Arm and a Leg, and people like that also.
You kind of give them like an a la carte experience too. Like
I think it's good. It's a little more complicated on fulfillment with picking and packing and all that other jazz. But if I'm lucky enough that people want my books, I want to give them what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want anyone to ever feel like, oh well, I've got to get this one, and I don't really want these other 2 books that are, it's expensive. The books are $25 each. It's like that's make people buy extra ones for that.
Yeah.
And that's just like for the normal people that don't like beautiful girls, prequel comic, and the standard comic book. And some people like that. That's normal. Yeah. Then there's the one of everything, because Ethan always says, you got to have one of everything.
Yeah.
But they did. I was happy. The first day we sold 2 sets of that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And the shipping's reasonable. I charge a little bit more than the individual books if you get all those books, but it's not much more. The shipping's pretty fair.
We're not in Doug Snaple territory.
He's out of his mind with that stuff. It's not necessary. They don't know what they're doing. It's another thing. All sorts of. You get me talking about this stuff. It's not about production and relationship management. It's about international logistics shipping. But I know a lot about this stuff because I researched it, and it's amazing what you can do saving money with international shipping if you have scale, like Doug has scale. $80,000 Kickstarter, that's scale. he can ship. There's a lot he can do, but he doesn't care and he's crazy. And he's someone not worth helping. That is for sure.
Oh yeah.
Two of everything.
Mhm.
That's almost the same as one is everything times two.
Yeah.
Just about the same. Yeah. So we try to keep it simple, really straightforward. Give people the 3 versions of College of the Dead Graduation Day, as well as access to any of the books from the prior one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting to see people buy. Like there's 72 backers, and I think we've sold about 20 of the original graphic novel, the prequel, which is very cool. So it's like people are jumping on.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people, especially I would say, and new to Comicsgate, and I say new because people say, oh, nobody's joining. No, there's people joining every day.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like these people like are coming in later, and they might not have got a chance to get College of the Dead, or like for example, Downcast. The first run. So doing these where you got them set up where you can like get it, get the previous version with the sequel. I think that's a good idea.
And the only thing I didn't do the Ashcan, or there's also an art book that I did with book 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't have in the room with me, but it's 8.5 by 8.5 square. Oh, Thank you for following my show. And I do. Yeah, I love doing I have to do more live streams. They're so fun. And it was so cool that Ethan and John Malin came on the other day too.
Yeah.
I hadn't had them on yet. And I was just going to do a quick stream, like tell everybody, hey, thanks everybody for backing the campaign. We're successfully funded in less than 48 hours, #1 trending on Indiegogo for comics. Thanks everybody. And then, Carl jumped on, and then John Malin jumped on, and then Ethan jumped. Like, this is like royalty. So many cool people. I'm not rushing off this stream, but I'm not used to hosting that many people. And I didn't have any subjects prepared. So, but it was fun. Ethan loved my trailer, which was cool.
Yeah, sometimes you go off the cuff. Sometimes your off the cuff streams end up being your best ones.
I think so. It's just a matter of you need some experience for that. Ethan particularly has tremendous experience. He knows he's got so much go-to stuff that he can use. He knows how to use the chat so well.
Yeah.
But if you listen to his first interview with John Malin, it's inspirational because his first interview with John Malin is like watching paint dry. It's like torturous. It's completely
like the evolution of a man kind of thing, right?
And to see that he's developed this skill, it just shows you how truly hard that man works. He works extremely hard. He found out what he needed to know, and he's just like, okay, I'm just going to work like a freaking animal and make this work. And so he did. And that's that. To me, I look at that. So like, if anyone's willing to put in the work, maybe they don't have the natural talent for it, but they will be really good if they're not phenomenal at it.
I mean, like you said, I think it was the other day he was talking about it, and like people don't, his detractors is I guess the best term for it. And they'll say something to the effect of like, oh, well, he's arrogant and blah blah blah, and he said no, but I'm humble. I say, I tell everybody all the time, that's the gimmick, right? It's like, I'm the most humble man, like,
Well, yeah, you have to self promote. I mean, you have to be proud of what you're doing, and you have to, he is definitely the best Ethan Van Sciver that anyone ever created.
Yeah.
And so as I am the best Adam Post than anyone ever created, and within your own category, if you're doing what you're passionate about, then you are going to be really great at it, and you can be proud of it, and you don't have to be great at everything. But it's helpful if you're great at something that you're passionate about and you're really focused on it. I'm just starting to realize, like, with the health of Comicsgate, and it's incredibly healthy. Like my first campaign, I had exactly 100 backers. And I ran for 2 months for 60 days.
Yep.
And today, we've got 72 backers in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily have, what is that? 5 is a 6, 10 times or 12 times the more backers. Doesn't mean we're going to have 800 backers or something, but,
it's showing an enthusiasm and a growth. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. So, I mean, I'm expecting we're really running at 200 to 300% of what I did on the first campaign. And yes, we did double the 5,000 to 10,600 after another, 4 or 5 months on In Demand. And this probably will stay in demand. I like how that worked last time. I got to meet a lot of people, and a lot of people get interested in the book that way. And I think it was a good lead up to then launching the sequel. So we maybe until we launch the next sequel, we can keep that one in demand, just to keep this in demand, just to make it available to people if they want to read it. But yeah, it's Comicsgate's tremendously successful. So the people that say that, oh, well, the revenue is less on this book than it was that book, and that proves it's like, no, when it's viable it's not even a matter of my numbers going up, which they absolutely obviously are. It's a matter of when the small guys like me, Simon Sim Portier, when Door Kickers can do a $14,000 book and do it successfully enough to then do another book and plan another sequel to Door Kickers, that's when you have something that's a vibrant, successful business model. You apparently know business models. Like when it works, it works. It doesn't mean that because you have a successful electronics store and it works for you and supports a family and you can be around for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that you're going to take Best Buy out of business. That's not the point. The point is your market you can serve well and people are satisfied with what they're buying.
Well, like look at for example, look at Mike Murphy and from between, first book failed. Was Samurai and Dinosaurs, brought it back, was successful, and now God's Fear Me is tapping on the door 12,000. So
yeah, I honestly way that he launched that. Okay, so I knew about the Samurai and Dinosaur story, and I interviewed him because when I was earlier on in Comicsgate, I've kind of always been Adam Post, but not Adam Post as kind of well integrated, more so that I am a little bit more. People pretty much know who I am in Comicsgate now. So I was like, well, what's useful to people in Comicsgate? I was like, Mike Murphy is really useful because he was successful. He successfully relaunched. So I interviewed him extensively on my channel, and I just shared that to a guy who looks like his campaign's not going to make it because his goal was just really high. He didn't have a list done. So I made a point to share that video to him. But it's great that you bring it up again. It's like that is something people need to hear because if you don't have a successfully funded campaign, either your first one or if you're Doug TenNapel and you overpromised 2 hardcore cover books, and you're not doing as well as you wanted to on Bigfoot Bill, like this, you don't have to give up. But if you're Critias, you should give up because he's completely irresponsible. But for everybody else, other than Critias, like nobody should be giving up. That's a mean thing to say about Critias, but Critias should let someone else handle the finances if he wants to publish.
Well, it's kind of like you ever heard of the term overfinancing? Like when you buy a car, or like let's say you're trading in a car, but you owe money on that car, so they put the balance of that car onto your new car. So instead of paying $30,000 for a new car, you're actually paying $35,000 for the new car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But then you're like, oh, I don't want this car in 5 years. And then the next thing you know, you're buying cars. You're just paying off old debt constantly. And you're just constantly underwater. You're never going to get out of that car. You're just going to be, unless you just like somehow short sell it and then beg the gods to forgive you for the rest of the debt, and that's the situation he spent all the money on what doesn't matter, but it was spent. And he's not going to be able to pull out of it. He needs to just say it's not happening. I would feel better if he said it was not happening.
Hey, I just want to inform everybody that Tatsunami gave us a happy poop.
Oh, okay.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, they had the poop super. The sticker super chats don't show up in the StreamYard, so I can't feature them, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But I need to send a thing to StreamYard.
Oh, look at that, Spartan Scotsman. It's called negative equity.
Yeah.
We have some advanced people in our. See, that's the thing is we actually do have some pretty advanced people in our network. Yeah, Comicsgate is no joke, and if everybody just does what they're good at and figures out who they can trust, and it just takes a little time to get to know each other. There's a lot of things we can all do together. There's no question about it.
Right.
I'm getting inspired to do more and more all the time. Collaboratively, not just for me. Like for me, and all right, who else can I do other stuff with? Bless you.
You ain't got the Corona Chan, do you?
She does. She's got Corona.
Oh, snap.
No, you do not have coronavirus. Not even if you want it.
All right, Piper, what I saw today, what you need to do and don't really do this, but what you need to do is elevate your temperature to 37 degrees.
I was seeing that
and
stuff about.
eat jalapeno peppers, and apparently you're just burning the. The idea is you're burning the virus out of your system.
I've seen so much goofy.
Oh, I heard a good
stuff
one this
about
morning. You want to hear this one? It was on the radio.
Break it out. Break it loose.
In fact, War Campaign, I love this one. What you do to get rid of the coronavirus is you get some essential oils.
Oh no!
And you swab it all over yourself, and then take a cotton ball of essential oils and insert it in your back hole.
Oh god!
That sounds like it might do something.
But
I don't know if it'd be something about your, coronavirus, but it might do something.
Well, here's the funny thing: the radio host actually did say back hole.
Oh, that's funny.
Wait, oh,
Yeah,
Going around now.
Yeah, it was like a local North Carolina radio station. He actually said, "Insert the cotton ball of essential oils up your back hole."
Wow.
oh my God.
It's more popular than we realized.
Wow.
And it's funny because it all started because of some stupid SJW-isms that were like, we can't call it, what they're actually called because those words were created by men.
Oh my God. Yeah. Do you know that women are supposed to now be called front hole havers?
Yeah, front hole havers.
And because it's, I don't know, nicer to the trans community, and then there are period havers.
I would say that it's probably good to disregard that.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
disregard
no
a lot
way.
of
Yeah, I
that.
was like, there's no way I'm gonna say my gender is front hole period haver. Like, no, it's not happening.
Don't let people change languages on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I told you about the poll the other day. They've been you've probably seen Latinx popping around for
Yeah.
years. Well, you find out that the Latin community in the United States hates that.
Yeah.
They said, we don't want that. You either call us Latino or Hispanic or whatever, but don't call us Latinx. You're just making words.
Their whole
Yeah.
culture is a male female, like the whole language is male or female.
It's a romantic gendered language. Yeah.
The romance language, exactly. And they don't want any of that garbage. They don't want that. And that's all right. They'll kill as many as they can with their coronaviruses. But yeah, hopefully we get past this nonsense. This is like the last big hurrah of the evil people.
Yeah, my site is very slowly shutting down.
I like this one.
Just
A lot of people are working from home due to COVID-19, which coronavirus. I'm a mortician. I don't think my kids would like if I did that.
I mean, why not? Why not? Give it a try. How are they going to learn? Who else should they learn that from?
I was about to say, kids are pretty fucked up. They'd probably be fascinated as hell. Is that a real dead body?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Drag it in the house.
Now I'm going to drain its fluids, kids.
You don't want Mo Biggs teaching them. You teach them.
Yeah. Like Mo Biggs makes a good point. How do you know for sure unless you try?
Yeah.
See that? Mo Biggs.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, really? Somebody on Twitter was saying that German should be written Germ mixen.
Oh.
Like Mata, he just said, "Man, I'll just cough myself to death."
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
the right
like
answer.
honestly the best route right there.
That's plan right there.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, it's like as I said, my rules have been so far: don't panic,
Yeah.
stay clean, and be aware of your surroundings.
And hoard toilet paper whenever you
Yeah,
find
apparently
it,
hoard
because
toilet paper.
apparently it's going to go up in value hardcore, and you can resell that shit by the sheet.
I mean,
Yeah. Whoever thought you'd be speculating on toilet paper?
Right. Well, like Bitcoin is like tanking right now, along with the stock market.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it dropped like I think like $1,000 today.
Liam was trying to convince everybody to buy Bitcoin on Narwhal stream.
Oh
Yeah, no, don't. It's tanking right now.
well,
Yeah,
actually,
I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. He just kept on about that.
well, to be serious, if you were wanting to get into it, now would be a good time.
But you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
true. If you want to just start getting into it, now's the time to buy
But
it.
the thing is you don't want to. If you make investments, you want to try to invest for something that you'd be willing to hold on to for 5 or 10 years, and like you're not going to try and like speculate on it real quick or something.
mhm.
Now Liam is saying like, no, don't get into it. All right, good, Liam. Good, Liam. You know, Liam, you have to watch out. Like, you're respectable to some people, and you have that accent, which makes you sound like credible. And you're in a fucking suit, excuse the language. So people are like maybe listening to you. It was a bit, but you got to be careful because people listen.
Yeah, they think you're serious. Yeah,
they would think you're serious.
Wilberforce Swoosh says buy stocks, not big. And honestly, if you're going to get into stocks, now's a good time. Honestly.
If you know what you're doing, then you know what the deal is. And like, yeah, stocks are lower now than they're going to be. Like before Trump's, I went food shopping to just be ready for. I was going to go shopping this weekend, but then when I heard Trump was going to do his speech last night, I'm like, all right, he's going to probably announce it's a national emergency or something's going on. He's not going to say, hey, here's some great news about coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like whatever I needed, I was like, let me just go get this and be done with it because, you don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of people like during a stupid pandemic if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Pawing and trying to grab extra groceries or something.
That's why I tell people. That's another thing. I tell people. I said liking it because I live on a coastal coastal state. So I tell people when we have hurricanes, the term is shelter in place. If you as long as you're not in a floodplain or any place or your house doesn't just blow to the ground, just shelter in place. I said for now, unless you have to be out. I mean, unless you're and like what I say, they're shutting down public schools in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So if you ain't got to be out, don't be out. That's the best way to stop the spread of the virus. Let these places get cleaned up. Because I saw and I laughed with this one because I think it was some mass transit system in one city where they're like wiping down everything, like handrails, and I was like, and we don't do this all the time. Why?
Well, yeah. I mean, they just announced in New York City that they were starting to do it today. I think twice a day. Like that's actually not enough in New York City on a regular fucking day. Excuse the language. I'm used to being on other streams, guys. Sorry about that.
No, you can.
You can cuss here.
All right, good. Now I know. So it's like now you're doing it. Like you should. When? How often did you used to do it? Like once a week, maybe? Because that's not that. I don't. I had a Jewish mom. It's just like, no, you're not allowed to go out and play in normal situations. You're not supposed to even play school sports or like not be completely bundled up or whatever when you're going out with extra mittens and things. Like, no, you can't be around. Like if you go on a subway and or any kind of train going into Manhattan and you walk around Manhattan for like a half an hour, you've interacted with probably 500 people.
Yeah.
So in some of these states are like they're banning gatherings of 250 people or more for the entire state, and other states are like 1,000 or more. They consider 1,000 to be a large gathering. But like two other states, I heard around 5 o'clock today, Ohio is closing all public schools for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And Maryland for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. They're basically extending their spring breaks to, and also like I think a lot of them until of course things can change at any moment. But it's kind of, letting because I think someone want to set up like lesson plans for like, online homeschooling kind of things, So, and I said,
here's the stuff's already online anyway.
It'll be hilarious if that ends up happening and they find out, hey, this actually works out a lot better than
they don't come back.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I wanted to tell you, I was reading about it because I get messages from the school district.
Yeah.
And I was reading it out loud, and the kid was going, "Ha, cool, no freaking school and crap like that." I'm like, dude, you're already homeschooled. Get back to work.
Okay, let me see. Got a $5 Australian super chat from Liam Gray. It says, I canvassed for a cute cosplay girl for the Zeitgeist we showed. We were launching Sunday. Her mother caught corona, so she can't come now. True story. Oh,
that's like the Liam Gray kind of luck. Poor Liam.
Yeah,
but you did get Xenotype funded, which is freaking awesome. Everyone's psyched for that.
Yeah, once again, thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Kent State went online classes.
Well, every college now, I don't know if it's every college, but every college on Long Island where I live is closing classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have a son in high school, so I'm like, no, F that. I'm not sending him to school.
Yeah.
Because they have like 1,200 students.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's too many.
My thing was, I said somebody because the whole thing is like, oh, they're not testing people, they're symptomatic. I said, well, I agree. I would set it up like if, let's say, like the cases in North Carolina, what happened was, there's a Southern term for you. You see, what had happened was,
Yep.
the one case that started in North Carolina, she went to go visit like her mother in Seattle, where they had the big outbreak in that nursing home, where 12 people died.
Yeah.
That's how she got it. And of course, she went to a restaurant. And then, of course, that spread it around there. And then other people got it. So how many people did she get in contact with just from that restaurant? So that restaurant had to shut down. They're, in the process of, basically nuking it from orbit so it doesn't spread anything, essentially. And I mean, I think we're at right now 12 confirmed cases in our state. So it's not looking terrible. It's not good. I mean, it's never good because you still have it out there, but at the same time, I think shutting down everything, it's just like I said, just be clean. If you see a kid who's like sniffling, get him out of class, like,
that's the thing. Like in a school environment, there's hundreds of kids all over the effing place. And like kids, especially depending on the age, but kids don't know what the hell is like up or down or whatever. Like they touch walls, they're walking around, they're touching surfaces, and then they playing with each other's crap and their toys and books and throwing shit at each other. It's like this is it. There's no. It's like anywhere near a school, it's not safe. In fact, Charlie's London, if you know who that is, she's everybody kind of knows CGUK on Ethan's show all the time. She's a teacher, and she was told to go home because she had, and she was like frog marched home.
Yeah, she was asymptomatic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, she is symptomatic.
Yeah, symptomatic. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, she doesn't feel. That's fine, and she doesn't feel well, and they're going to send somebody from NHS to her house to test her to see what she's got. A lot of people recover, especially if they're not like 60 and older. But it's scary. It's hitting people we know already.
I had a situation the other day because I do Uber and Lyft and things like that, make some extra money. And I had one, and it was a pickup at an emergency room. I'm like, uh-oh. And I pull up, and the girl's in a mask. I'm like,
What the fuck?
And I was like, uh-oh. I said, so I'm dealing with, I mean, I had my flu shot. I'm not too worried about that, but I'm thinking, this is right when the corona stuff was starting to be talked about a lot more. And she gets in. So, I'm thinking, okay, I got to be kind of ask because also, but also not be a jerk, And so I just kind of like, Southern hospitality. I was like, so you got a little bug, huh? She said, yeah, I got bronchitis. I was like, oh, okay, bronchitis. I was like,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Good.
God. She's obviously she was putting on a show, that lady, but she was funny as hell. She was great.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the problems with the coronavirus and why it's able to spread like it is because of how long it takes for symptoms to show up.
Yeah, you gotta. Like
I'm sorry. Like, that's not a
days.
bad. That ain't no bad disease. That's no bad disease. The thing where it's like, well, it's asymptomatic for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, and is extremely contagious. And it's like, well, then it's the perfect bioweapon thing.
It is.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that just coincidentally fell out of a bat. All right, well, that hasn't happened like in the last 50 years prior to that.
Yeah, yeah, and a bunch of bats weren't dying. Like,
yeah, it doesn't kill the bat, but you don't even hear like, well, you guys like hunting up fucking bats from over there and trying to get a serum because apparently these bats like they're immune. Like with like I'm not an immunobiologist or something like that, but hey. You have the snakes and they have venom and like you make the serum from the venom. So go find those bats. Like there ain't no bats.
Yeah,
it's not about the bats.
It's not the bats. The prime thing is, like I said, just be clean. Just be clean. I will say this: with all the toilet paper being bought up, I was like, America's going to have the cleanest ass collectively. Like
cleanest ass collective.
Yeah. Like I've never.
I mean, like you knew that was a thing potentially. Like, have people not been? Hey, Captain F-Head. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Yeah,
good to see you, man.
So hail CGUK, hail 0.5, and hail the postman. So
yeah. I got to get on their CGUK show maybe next week. See how it's going. They have time. Oh, Who's jumping in there?
That's Xavier. He's the other host. He's getting off work apparently, and
Oh, cool. Very
What's up,
nice.
family?
Hey,
Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
Cool.
All
That's it.
right.
it's it can live into 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So if your immune system does not react to, it keeps ramping the fever temp. Bad for the old. That's true. Yes, that's not good.
Yeah, we should be okay. My brother was telling me. My brother's a kidney specialist, and he's like, a month ago, I was like, the China's got this crazy freaking illness. He's like, yeah, they're always getting illnesses over there. Don't worry about it. And then like now, I was talking to him. He's like, this is pretty bad, and he was like mad at Trump and stuff. So I'm like, look, it's not Trump's fault. You know that.
Yeah.
So then he was like, but he said, look, people, it's gonna get a little nuts for the next month, and then after that. Things will
What
probably
the
settle down after a month.
Fuck, Xavier. Xavier.
Yep.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
getting in his car.
Jesus.
Going on a ride with Xavier.
I don't believe that it was oops a bat. Not when people are getting arrested that are associated with freaking labs, and there happens to be that creepy umbrella lab right by that market.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
and also, I should point out, like that whole thing going around. Oh, the dog, the pets can get it too, but that's not true.
When they tested that dog, it was just that he licked something up
Yeah,
that had coronavirus.
Yeah,
on
and
it.
you know how many dogs they brutally killed because of that?
yeah, and like
That
because
was
they,
awful.
I forgot what was it was it in the United States where they had the dog they had in quarantine, but they said like, no, the dog doesn't have fucking. This dog isn't sick. What the fuck?
Well, if you sneeze in the dog's face and make him breathe in, yeah, he's gonna get sick. Well, why would you do that for? What are we talking about this for?
Are we hearing Pipper contract coronavirus right now?
Why does everybody have typos when they spell Piper?
Oh,
Is that a show joke or something?
yeah, yes. So
Yeah.
like, basically, there's three forms of Piper, right?
Okay.
What you're dealing with here is standard Piper. This is like
Yeah.
the first, the pre-evolution, right? Pipper is when she starts drinking wine and gets a little too chatty and a little crazy. Pippert, which is spelled P. How's it spelled?
PIPRT, I think.
Yeah, Pippert is so drunk she doesn't know what she's doing anymore. She starts singing and howling into the microphone.
And don't remember the stream.
It does not remember anything.
Wow.
So the
woke
next
up-
part of the stream, that part, yeah.
Yeah, she woke up naked the next day and prayed she didn't do it on the stream because she couldn't remember.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
came
I have
close.
no idea. Yeah. Oh my god.
Would these guys stop you if you were naked on a stream? Probably.
I did.
Yes.
Optipop, yeah, I think Optipop would at least.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
we're good big brothers.
That's
Yeah, like Yolander says, Pippert is best Piper.
We're not going to stop you when you're embarrassing yourself because it's funny as hell. But we know when to draw the line when embarrassing becomes forever.
Well, that didn't. Carl, no one was watching out for Carl. There was a Saturday I was on with Carl on Ethan's channel, and then and Ro was on, and that was when Carl was drinking. And he took but the thing was, Carl was drinking, and it was like morning. So I'm like, well, that's a little bit screwy. And I was on for like 4 hours, and I had to I was like, all right, enough already. I got to go do my Saturday thing. I came back an hour later, and Carl was like so ridiculously drunk. He was completely out of control, and they still had the stream on. And I was like, guys, come on, but he wound up.
Yeah, mine actually happened that Friday right before Carl.
Yeah, we had that was the week. I said that's the week of the because that was the week Cecil was going to show his pee.
Yeah.
He kept trying to show his peener on stream, and kept being stopped. Then she got so blitzed that she couldn't remember what she was doing.
Yeah.
And then
couldn't remember how the stream ended. I just woke up naked.
and I happened to be because I was riding around that day. I was doing some doing some work, and I was listening to the Ethan stream, and I was just going along, and I already knew Carl was drunk because they were all already teasing about it and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I think it was Ethan's wife didn't get on the stream, but you could hear her in the background, right? He goes, hey, hey. He said, what's up, babe? And then all of a sudden he goes, you hear Carl's like, is that your wife? Andrea!
Oh my god. Yeah. That's when normally you cut somebody off.
Yeah, I was hovering over the dump button on the Pippert stream. Yeah, I was really. I thought in any second I'm gonna have to kill this. Right?
That's funny.
I finally, because it took a while to convince Piper. I said, "Look, you need to go. We need to go. It's time to go." You know, like,
We literally had to get a super chat telling her to go to bed.
yeah.
For her to understand that this was going to happen.
I've seen that.
This is the question that really needs to be asked. Piper, Pippert, F, Mary, kill. Oh.
Wow.
I mean,
Hmm.
Pipper is a good time. You know what I mean? I don't want to take that any further than it, should be.
Yeah, because Pippert is a shoe.
that was another thing. Like, that's how the Pippert thing came up, because Piper was kept typing in the chat. And
Yeah,
one of
I
the-
don't
and
know
one
what
of the
the I
drunk-
was trying to say, but it said Pippert is a shoe.
Yeah, and she didn't spell shoe right. It was like SH and then /OE. And so, let's see. Mo Biggs, he's got an answer for us.
First one to answer.
He says F Pipper, M Piper, K Pippert to stop the singing.
Mo Biggs knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Big contributor.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
Oh, bro.
That's terrible. Kill
Wow.
Piper. Sorry. Mary Pippert, she won't remember. And F Pipper.
Damn.
wow. We've learned some things about some people tonight.
Liam Gray says F Piper, kill Pipper, Mary Pippert.
Wow. Apparently, Pippert is the popular one.
He said Mary Piper, F Pipper, kill Pippert. Okay. Man, we're getting a lot of interaction with this one. Y'all
Damn.
back knowledge of that.
That's
Just
So,
for the-
So
Karaoke with
we're going to this bar after CG Con. You want to come with? Has Piper
Yeah.
been drinking? Yeah, she's Pippert right now. So you're saying I have a shot?
Oh.
F Pipper, Mary Piper, karaoke with Pippert. Oh, that's new.
You're a brave soul.
Delta Spur Force says MMF. I ain't figured that one out. Oh, so F Pipper, M Piper, kill Pipper. Oh wow.
Wow, kill
Nobody
Pipper,
nobody
really?
likes the in between evolution, do they?
Huh.
Nobody
If you're-
likes Kakuna. That's just what it comes down to.
If you aren't saying Mary Pipper, you are wrong.
Well,
I would say Pipper would be the more fun one, because you still
right?
gotta know
Because
what you're
she's
doing.
still like coherent.
Yeah. You know, Squirtle is cool. So is Blastoise. Fuck Wartortle.
But it's because Pippert won't remember, so it's like you don't get married.
But I feel like Pippert would be the easiest one to kill. Maybe she'd be the hardest one to kill.
Yeah, what if you have like
Drunk.
insane superpowers when you're Pippert?
Probably would be like drunk master. I keep I just keep accidentally.
Jackie Channing all over the place.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did all this wolf milk come from?
Oh shit.
I had
Let's
like a gallon of milk when I went to bed last night. I woke up, there's just wolf milk everywhere.
We
It's
got-
in cartons.
You've got 2 more backers since we started.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Where
so
did
Thanks
these
for supporting
cartons
College of
come
the Dead.
from?
We're not really talking about College of the Dead, but you get the idea. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of zombies. It's awesome.
College
But
of
this
the
is
Dead,
fun
spend some
stuff.
money.
I haven't seen a lot of your guys. I've seen like part of your streams when Scott was on, Scott McCullough.
Yeah.
And but it's like, I can't even watch my streams. I can't watch this. It's just so hard to keep up with CG now. There's so many of us putting out so much content, which is really actually fantastic.
yeah.
That's the machine is running, my friend.
Yeah, it's going, and people are supporting each other, and things are building. And I'm going to start live streaming a lot more. Kind of working all the planning stuff out a bit, but yeah, it's amazing. It's growing incredibly. It's really successful.
It is growing, okay? Even though CG is clearly dying, okay?
Yeah, we're clearly dying.
I'm going to do a video. I was like, I want to do another Secrets of the Comics Gate Network video, which I do. Just talk about my publishing experience, because I've published comics for on and off for 30 years. And
Those are very informative. I recommend that everybody check those out.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
AdamPostSpeaks.com.
Make sure when you do one, you make sure, say, if you want to be successful in CG, you go on Graded Point 5, home of the Kingmakers.
Yeah.
Graded Point
Yeah.
5 chat.
You know what?
Mhm.
That's not a bad idea to go over channels, and definitely to mention you guys. I have a list of promo channels. You guys are definitely on the list.
Nice.
Yeah. people don't have like I don't know if have you had Raging Golden Eagle on yet?
No, I need to talk to him.
All right, I'll make sure I mention you guys to him too.
Sweet.
Yeah, because you guys, you're a part of CG, and promo part is really important. Getting out there and talking to people. It's not just it's promo, but also just people getting to see you and see you in different environments. And
And the beautiful thing about Raging Golden Eagle, I noticed, like when he goes on other streams, he brings his audience with him.
oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I saw he was on Mandy Summers last week. Yeah. And he was streaming before he went on her stream, and then he says, "I'm going over here. Here's the link. Go check it out." And she ended up having like 400 or 500 people.
Oh yeah, okay. I heard her saying she had 400 people.
Yeah,
and I didn't know if that was like a mail-in stream, but she was handling it all herself. So,
but it was her. It, of course, her. Malin was there, but it was at Raging Golden Eagle, and I believe Liam was there too.
Okay.
So it was it was a nice stream. It was very active. She said she had to stop looking at the chat because it was going too fast.
Too many comments. Yeah, I was on her channel last Saturday, I think, when I launched, and I hadn't talked to her in a while. Like I hadn't been on a stream with her in a while, and she did a good job. She's really got sharper, sharper with hosting and stuff like that, and it's great to see her projects come out. She just launched a project with Peter today. Was it? No, it was yesterday.
With Wyatt Holiday. Yeah.
Yep.
That was the Rocket Gal.
Yeah, very cool. It's very cool.
Did she get any interesting super chats? Yes, she did. Spartan Scotsman sent her talking about. I guess they're talking about creators like who to feature, and he sent a super chat that says, "Have you heard of Hugh Janus?"
Oh yeah.
And she was like,
I think Peter explained it to her.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, "Well, tell him to DM."
Oh no! Really?
And then Peter was like, "No, wait.
Not that kind of DM. No. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But always trying to help people.
That's right. Yeah.
Keep it positive and help people out.
So that's the big thing, man. Let's do positive stuff. Quit. Let's not try not to get into fights. I always said if somebody messes with you, you poke them back. If you got to, but don't go starting fights. Have a good time.
Yeah, and it's easy enough to stay away from people you're not getting along with.
Right.
And even people that literally not getting along with, not even that you have a spat with somebody or even a battle with someone, but there's people that you're going to click with better than other people.
Right.
All 5 of us are completely fucking amazing, obviously.
Right.
Liam Gray, I don't know, maybe. No,
Yeah,
Liam Gray is cool. But there's going to be some people that you don't get on with as well as you get on with other people. It's just well, then it's okay to be a little distant from them. And also, you don't take it personal. And not everybody is like an ambassador and everybody has so much weird stuff going on in their life that we have no idea what it is. That's you just cool with everybody, and if you can't be cool with people, then just keep your distance until you can be.
Right.
You also get those people where they're all right to hang out with. They're a blast, a good time to hang out with. You just don't want them over at your fucking house.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He's great. I just don't want him over at my fucking house.
I would want Cecil at my house.
Oh, I let Cecil. Yeah, he can stay over. It was fine.
I think he's. You know why I like Cecil? I like Cecil for a number of reasons. He's very entertaining. But also when something ever gets serious and it's all right, I'm going to put on my serious personality now. He is so focused, throw down serious with sincerity that it's just wow, he's really a great guy. Unbelievable.
I didn't mean Cecil. I just meant.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I was just teasing. Sorry, I did that. That's just that's just like a bullshit joke that I make.
To be honest, I would be afraid that he would try to pee in my closets or something.
Well, only if he's drunk.
Piper, your closet won't flush.
There is no try. There is only do. He would do it. No, I know you didn't mean Cecil. Sorry, that wasn't fair. Especially with me going on a long rant like that. That's funny. But yeah, no, it's just. Well, yeah. How dare I? Damn it.
You can. If anybody here, you can dunk on Xavier. He's fine.
Xavier.
Yeah, just dunk on him all the time.
Head of the X-Men and shit like that.
Yeah, what up?
Come to me, my X-Men, with a cheese pizza.
Is Xavier is he? I haven't paid attention to the X-Men in a long ass time. Is Xavier still running the X-Men? Are they still men?
I don't know.
I don't think they're men.
I know they did a storyline where Red Skull put Xavier's brain in his own head so that
Wow.
he's the most powerful telepath in the world, and some other stuff happened, and I don't even know if that's still.
I think
going
he's
on.
alive again, and they're on that island, and they're doing weird, dumb shit now.
They prefer the term X people. Thank you.
Oh.
Wilberforce Wooster says, "I always listen to Carl when he tells me to leave Wenger's channel."
Excuse me, X folks, FOLX, X folks.
Oh my god, are you serious?
No, that would actually be a kind of funny thing to do. But
No, but I heard somebody. I've heard jokes about using the word folks, and I was wondering if that was the joke.
There are people that do it unironically.
Oh my god.
Brian Kriskow says, "We doggies, howdy pilgrims, hey, and go back the new Six Gun Gorilla while you're at it."
Yeah. Looks like a beautiful book.
Yeah.
And that's off to a nice start, too. I really like Brian. He's a cool guy. I haven't had him on my show yet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fantastic books coming out right now, and so if there's any money left in your wallet, we need to fix that.
Yeah.
They're transitioning to the X-Men. Mo Biggs, you got make sure you follow me on YouTube, man. When I stream, I need you in the chat, brother.
Yeah.
Whatever Mo stands for.
Last I heard, they revealed Xavier was evil and a political engineer, and he was always behind the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. All of it was his big Game of Thrones play because he got his future diary. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So it's a Captain America thing. But
Shame on anybody who actually even understands what that is. I don't
It was
even.
me, Magnus. It was me all along.
What do you mean shame on anybody that knows what that is?
That what he just described is too complicated.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's too complicated.
I thought you meant the
So-
future
to
diary.
follow
'Cause I
that.
know what that is.
So Xavier
Future
set up
diary?
the Brotherhood of
Well, then no
Mutants so
shame
they-
on you. Then that's not. Boy, I'm really shaming everybody. What a guest.
So wait, hold on a second. Xavier set up the Brotherhood of Mutants so he could have a force of evil mutants that he could build a team to oppose for political reasons, for good, positive PR. But what about the times the Brotherhood of Mutants attacked the X-Mansion and killed people and tore up the place?
Retcon.
Because X-Mansion gets blown up every year.
Retcon never happened. Did it for the insurance. It's all
Yep.
scam. Schemes and scams.
Oh,
Yep.
schemes and scams. That means cocaine, and that means
Scams. White
that means I
drugs.
gotta play the white drugs. Here we go.
Cocainum.
I thought you were gonna add the lip licking thing to something.
I'm gonna do a whole new thing for that.
Oh, okay.
I got something planned. Since Andy Worski decided he's gonna wild out again,
Oh boy,
I got some plans.
this sounds fun.
Oh man.
I was on Archie Bear's show,
Mhm.
who is a lovely man,
Mhm.
and we talked about College of the Dead, and Edwin Boyette was asking intelligent questions in the chat, and I was very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, he pokes his head over here sometimes, and like we'll talk.
And he asked, he was like, "So is At College of the Dead going to publish his graphic novel through comic book stores in the future?"
Mhm.
I was like, "Well, that's an intelligent question, but it's Edwin who's asking it.
Yeah,
I mean, you've heard me fucking do impressions of you,
yeah,
and I'm not out to get him or anything like that. I'm very glad he's separated from Indicron because Indicron was its own thing, and Pixel works his ass off, and it's like you don't need to take the guy's street cred for doing all that work, and whatever's with Indicron's whatever was Indicron, but that Edwin's weird behavior had nothing to do with Indicron.
Mhm.
I just felt bad for Pixel because he's a nice guy, and Indicron was always nice to me too, and initially Edwin was nice to me too, and then all this weird stuff.
Yep.
But if you're going to block me on Twitter, then probably you shouldn't ask questions about my project while I'm on a stream.
Yeah, same here. He blocked us on Twitter. He was talking about because he popped in and was like, I think we had Vinny on, and
Vinny T.
Yeah, and he started talking about Vinny's project. And I'm thinking, I didn't say anything. I didn't acknowledge that he was there.
Yeah.
Like we're doing now. Of course, my the chat noticed him immediately and started calling him all kinds of.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? It's just odd. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess come if you want to, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's not a bad question.
Yeah.
I like the advice that he gave people because he gave me this advice early on. If you don't have a background if you don't have a following and you're not really sure what you're doing when you're starting to publish, then you shouldn't do more than a $3,000 goal. And I really agree with that. I think it's great advice. When I initially launched College of the Dead, one of the things that really hurt my campaign was I did a $5,000 flexible goal. And I did not have an email list. I didn't have a following. And people were very kind to me and cool with me. And I got let on shows, and that was great. And they were supportive of me. But just the same, like, who the fuck is this guy? He's got a $5,000 goal, and he's got like $800 after his first week. It's not going to get funded. And it's flexible. So, good for him. He'll just keep the money and not ship the book. Right. And I'm telling people on streams, like, well, I really don't need the money for this. It's just like, well, that's the opposite of crowdfunding. Right. But I can ship this even if we just funded, like, once we, I would say, like, well, once we're more than $1,000, which we were at that point, it was like $1,200. I was on Ethan's stream. I was like, I'm going to, all the work's done. I'm definitely going to ship this anyway. And it's like, it's kind of nice, but it's like, who wants to be part of a failure? You're part of a campaign when you back a campaign. Right. So it's like, so if you don't need $5,000 particularly, then don't ask for it. I thought that would be the right number because, like, well, my book's all done. It's 140 pages. Like, all right, well, I have a reason to ask for it, so I'll ask for that. And then it's like, yeah, that's fine. You're just not going to generate as much as you could have otherwise when people looked at the campaign and thought it wasn't going to get funded. And I had to extend another 30 days just to get barely over the line at 5,000. And then eventually, by then, everyone knew who I was. And then this new campaign's doing better, which is great. Yeah. But it's like, I sabotaged myself. But anyway, that was good advice he was initially giving. It's just like,
and then, I don't know. Then it went crazy.
Well, broken clock.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this. I mean, you remember, of course, I know you remember the whole, Doug, the Manly Men thing.
Yeah, that was hysterical. That was great.
I'm thanks to Xavier when that came up, he said he showed me a clip, and I said I have an idea, right? Okay. So we made this, and one day I really want Cecil to see it. I think Cecil would get a kick out of this. So here you go. Watch this.
Awesome.
We are men, manly men.
Wow.
We are men, manly men.
Wow.
We are men, manly men.
Oh wow.
We are men, manly men.
Edwin should definitely stop changing his look.
Yeah, it's like every 6 months he gets a new look.
I miss his hair.
Yeah, his hair was good and the beard was fine. He was doing fine. His problem is just picking on everyone and trying to start fights with everyone, based on his hair. Like, you have better hair than most of the people that you're fighting with, but that's not going to win an argument unless it's about hair.
Right. Well, see,
God damn it, Xavier.
Seriously.
That's all it takes.
Himself. Got him.
All right. Sorry, okay. Xavier. Yeah. But they said I could pick on you. Plus, you're lower than me on the totem pole.
Yeah.
You're at the bottom. I'm the second at the bottom, but you're at the bottom.
You've made a powerful foe this day.
I will say this about him popping into stream chats. He's been polite in all of the chats I've seen him in. Especially considering the chats have never been very polite to him, that I've seen.
It's just weird. It's just I don't get it. I don't get what the objective. God save us. Yeah, look at it with Edwin like that. Now that picture, he looks a little bit like Charlie Manson, actually. But a lot of times he looks so he used to I don't know.
I think I have this clip that I say represents Mike S. Miller. Considering everything he's been doing, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room usually. This is, and of course, the other guys know, but this is what I use for him.
What an ingenious plan this was! I am continually impressed by my brilliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you burned that comic, that was so relevant. That clip.
It's like, oh man,
genius.
Look at me burning this comic in front of my child. This is I freaking got him. I showed those guys.
Making myself look like a piece of shit to own the CGers.
So Spartan Scotsman has an opinion. Talking about Edwin. He only asks these questions for ammo so he can EFAP the demise of CG. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I have no plans to sell to comic book stores. But what I will say is, and I know Brian Polito just a little bit, who publishes Lady Death, and I knew him a little bit back in the day because I was publishing on the years that he was publishing initially. And he's got a good it's a sensible business model to like you do the 48-page graphic novel, and then eventually you release them as single comics to comic stores, just to make sure that people who have comics in comic stores, people who are fans of comics, like if they could be exposed to the titles, that's great for future crowdfunding and building the mailing list.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to make any money selling to comic stores, like unless there's some really bizarre, exceptional thing that happens.
Like, this one particular book becomes incredibly popular.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And then like I've done it for. Yeah, I'm sure it's different than when I've sold to. I haven't really sold anything to comic stores since the late 1990s, I think. But occasionally it'll work for a while and then it'll go really wrong. So it's like you have to stop selling. You're like, all right, now we're going to all lose tons of money if we keep doing this. Not a good thing. But as an extra thing for promotional purposes, it's a consideration. But the problem too is that people get confused. So I was talking to Clint about this the other night. Like every time I'm on a stream, like, and the subject of Downcast comes up, I will make a point to say, and yeah, by the way, just so you know, Downcast is going to be in comic stores, but that's Downcast 1.
Yeah.
So Downcast 2 will not be in comic stores like in January. It's going to be like maybe the end of 2021, maybe. So it's not that, oh, well, you can buy the comic now, or you could just wait a few months and buy it in comic stores really cheaply. Like you cannot, because that's not what's being put out. So, but it's very hard to fight against people being kind of confused about what you're offering when it gets complicated a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly. Well, you mentioned and Polito. That's Lady Death.
yeah. Lady
Death.
Death.
And I hear him brought up a lot, and I said, well, you got to look at. I look at it like this. You were talking about like, Jawbreakers 2 didn't do as good as Jawbreakers. I'm like, well, okay, but let's look at it like this. Let's look at it from another perspective. What if Jawbreakers 3 also makes $250,000, right? Then you're seeing because Jawbreakers 1 took off because of what the Mark Waid situation happened, and it just blew up, right?
People were just giving Zach money to give Zach money, not necessarily buying Zach's book.
But the other thing is like, is everybody completely stupid? I mean, Jawbreakers 1 was sold for a longer duration of time as well.
Yeah.
So like that actually matters. It matters a lot. So Jawbreakers 2, he put the book out, and then he didn't keep it in demand.
Well, it's still in demand.
Oh, is it in demand now?
Yeah, it's still in demand. He's basically kind of doing like what Vinny does. He keeps it in demand and just keeps shipping as he gets new orders.
All right. So he kept it in demand, but he stopped promoting it.
Right.
I mean, and even the other thing too is like Expendables is doing well, but he launched it without a campaign trailer, and it's hard to even understand like what the tiers are, like the book plus print. And he's just like, I want to launch it, so he launched it, and Zach. He has a huge following, and it's a really cool idea. I was on Ethan's stream for fucking 9 hours the day we launched it. I was thrilled. I'm really, really happy for CG, for Zach, for everything. It's just great opportunities for everybody. And it's like you can't evaluate one book to the next book and say, okay, well, this one is down. Like you have to really look at like how long was Jawbreakers being sold for, 1 versus 2. One of them had what was the content comparing one book to another book, but the duration is a big deal. And the other thing too was I don't know, he stopped pushing that book.
Yeah, that's the thing. I said I always look at it like this. Like look at it this way. I said, imagine if Zach, instead of just like kind of springing releases on us, like, oh, I'm going to release this book at at 8:54 p.m. on a Friday night,
right?
Or something like that. Instead, he said at 12 o'clock on Monday, Jawbreakers 3 will be out. This coming to Indiegogo, right?
Yeah, I don't think he even told Zach that Expendables was coming. Ethan knew that Expendables was in the works, but I don't think that Zach even told Ethan
when he was launching
that it was out. That it was launched. Yeah. I think we were talking about it in one of our chats, and it was like, "Hey, this Expendables book is out."
He's like, "Do what?" Right?
yeah. Do what now? Exactly. And it was like, "All right, let's get a stream going."
I think if Zach had just been like, because I think he wanted to surprise everybody with Expendables. All Zach had to say is something big is coming. This is the day it drops, and it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, if he said something big was coming, that we believe him. He's got credibility.
Because who was it that launched the day before, or
But
they were on our show?
You're just to see the. Oh, who was that? I forgot. I don't
I'm
remember.
trying to remember now. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I can't remember. But they launched like the day before, and it was like, man. Oh, it was Derek with Gary Grayscale. Michael
Oh,
Derrick.
cool.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
yeah, and he launched, and then well, he didn't launch on our stream, but he launched that week, and then boom, Expendables. He's like, well, there went my momentum.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, it's like. But he got funded, so hey, he did it in quicker time than he did with Abductables. So once
Once
again,
again-
you're looking at a contrast. You're doing better the next time out. And
But also, hail to the Kingmakers, the Graded Point 5 chat.
Oh, yeah.
our chat is wonderful. They help. They put into it. They put a lot of money into projects. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's honestly, it's what makes it happen.
Right.
I like to produce my comics before I launch them, and I'll probably keep doing that, forever. But,
Mhm.
but still, like, it doesn't matter. You can't keep putting money into these things if nobody buys them.
Mhm.
Ed Filkins loves all of us,
Yeah.
even Xavier, and those noises.
But
Thank
yeah,
you, Ed
man.
Filkins.
But like I
Very
said,
understanding.
But if Zach ends up building like kind of like a Polito-esque style where he's like making $250,000 per release, or and everything, I mean that's I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
it's a great business. It is. It's a huge business, and it's obviously leading to other things. They have a joint venture of some kind to publish Expendables, and it's more than just Expendables. That just came out of him being being a publisher as an opportunity that came across his desk, so to speak, and there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And Wilberforce says, I think Wreck Planet is already sucking money away. You can feel its presence. Not that it's Ethan's fault. He deserves the hype he creates. I do believe there's a lot of people kind of holding on a little bit to the to the money right now to get whatever is coming with Wreck Planet.
Yeah, because it's interesting that he's going to do exclusive products that are 24 hours only available for the first day.
Yeah, those boxes look great.
Yeah, everything.
I
looks great.
kind of want the honeycomb box.
That honeycomb. Oh man, if I had the money, I'd get that honeycomb box straight up.
Yeah, if I wasn't a broke ass, a book to pay for.
Yeah, I like that he just keeps putting more into the books, and it inspires me, and I'm sure the rest of us. That's why, like, College of the Dead 1 launched without a trailer, even, know. And I got on Ethan's show. I was on his show like 4 or 5 times. I was like, I'm sure Ethan was just like, I really want this guy to be successful. He could do something for Comicsgate probably and be, useful, but like, we got to get this guy a trailer and give him a little more personality when he's on streams or something. But he was just great. People don't understand. There really is just one of him, and he tries to do so much for he'll light as many fires as he can and just try to give everybody a little bit of a boost. But when he tells us, look, you need to build your own platform, look, you have to, try to bring people to your books, make sure your books are as exciting and as good as they can possibly be, and then make them better next time. Like, he tells us that. He tells us on stream, sometimes off stream or in a chat or something, and it's for everybody's own good. Like, you just absolutely have to do it. It doesn't matter how good your book is. You're not adding enough value if you're not at least making yourself independent. Right. Or at least like sort of independent, but still dependent on the CG community. That's fine. You just can't be dependent on the Comic Artist Pro Secrets channel.
Right. It's kind of like with the situation with Peregrine, is that we're building our own mailing list, but Scott has his Door Kickers mailing list. So we have, and of course we have the channel. Could it be bigger? Yeah, it obviously could, but the only reason I'm don't grow as fast as other channels is because I don't do individual videos as often as I should. Just regular videos. So I know what the thing is to make this grow, and I should do it, but also I got to go make some money in the real world. So
yeah, I'm gonna throw down with some Anthony Robbins shit on you now.
Yeah,
stop with the should. It's could replace it could, because should is something that it's a really negative implication and self-description. It means that there's something that ought to have happened, but you were irresponsible and as a result didn't do it. So there's a lot of things that I could point to, with that. What did Anthony Robbins say? This is going back to the early 90s. I really like how he wrote this. that usually people use the word should and they kind of should all over themselves. It's
Nice.
like, yeah, and I was like, all right, that's iconic. You can remember that. And it's true. It's like, well, you know what? I actually have a lot of things to do, and there are people that depend on me outside of Comicsgate, and I take care of my business. I do what I have to do. At the same time, if I'm going to do comics, I have to take it seriously. I have to deliver for people. I have to perform. So that means there's a limit to what I can do, can't do. There are limits to what I could do with live streams. I have to create miracles to make live streams happen. But you know what? Sometimes you can kind of do that, and it's actually not that hard when you stream with other great people. We mentioned Liam before. Liam's a great effing guest because Liam can just like talk up a storm, ask really intelligent questions, really just make a stream better. He's really great to have on. But a lot of guys are, but he's definitely one of them. So the thing is, like, you can kind of make it all work, but you don't have to say should about anything. Just do the best you can, and be honest with yourself about it. So we just kind of replaced the should with could, and it's like, yes, if you had more time, and if you can make more time, you can make more videos, and that will build the channel.
Yeah,
that's all.
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. And by the way, Tony Robbins did should all over himself.
Tony Robbins is a bit of a weirdo and stuff, and all of his stuff. One thing I don't like about his work is that it's very contradictory. Like, if you follow some of his stuff, he gives different advice, and some of it is completely straight up wrong. But that internal dialogue stuff actually is incredibly important. So you don't want to be down on yourself. You got to really super positivity. It's got to just be that, like a psychopath.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you mentioned Tony Robbins. I always think about the bit from Family Guy where, he's like, remember that time I met Tony Robbins? He goes to get his book signed, and Tony Robbins over, he goes, Tony Robbins hungry. And he starts eating like a snake. Like,
oh, I didn't see that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. But
yeah, he was in that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow when she was overweight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so Shallow Hal.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was funny. Yeah, he's been around a lot. Pretty iconic.
But you're right. You're right. The word should be could. I could.
It's not even should be could. What the fuck?
Wow.
It's more empowering to use the word could. Let's put it that way. But the thing is, it's not about being right. It's just something that I observed and I started using, and I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty freaking powerful. I've learned a couple tricks to get through tough times. That's one of them. And maybe I'll have to do some videos on that. I've kind of always not done that, but I think I may, just because, just these little ideas that they seem like they help and they work, and just keeping things because we gotta it's part of building ourselves up. It lets us help build other people up. And it just makes everybody stronger. So why not?
Like one of my ideas I'm going to do is,
there you go. Not that should do. Damn it.
Going to do is for the characters in our universe, start building them up and start doing little quick videos about what they are, who they are, what they do, kind of like a profile kind of thing.
It's a good idea. Give people background.
Exactly. I've been thinking about that the last couple of days. I said that'll be a fun thing to do, kind of leading up to the launch, as we get the
you guys will be successful. The main thing I found with publishing is just you control your costs and you control your quality.
Yeah.
And then, you start very conservatively because you will learn as you go through the process. So I've published a lot of comics before. So putting out one book like College Dead 1 was not super educational, except that, certain aspects of it was unique, making the ash can. I'd never done it before. I didn't know if a book would even have value to it. I just thought the script was so interesting and the layouts were interesting, kind of combine them. So you kind of learn a bit as you go. But the second time around, when you've done something, you come with this extra insight and this momentum. So, you just keep it conservative. I think the $3,000 goal, you pick whatever numbers you're comfortable with, is a damn good goal. I think when people do the $500 goal and they multiply the algorithm, I mean, that's cool too. But I think it's more for people that when for sure that you're at least going to hit 10,000, within the first, say 2 weeks or so, where it's just you can keep flipping the algorithm is probably a good thing. But just, you want to be straight with people too, with these goals. So Ethan, because 500 is the minimum on Indiegogo.
Right.
The absolute minimum. So it's you really want at least enough that you can cover all expenses and be able to ship the book. And then if you do more, you do more.
I just thought this was interesting to say. Remember, the secret to success is lying to yourself, but most people call that confidence.
That's true. Well, there's a different point of view. There's always different perspectives on situations. Like a problem is usually an opportunity. It really usually is. So it's kind of like opposite sides. And if you focus on that problem, you're not focusing on the solution or the opportunity.
Yeah.
You have to focus on the problem to identify that you're really going to fix the thing that's wrong. But once you know what the problem is for sure, then it's time to fix the damn thing.
Yeah, Mo Big says Preston Poulter lies to himself all the time, and he's not successful.
Yeah, well, that goes to the term of necessary but not sufficient,
right?
Which means that an element of like it must be, but not because it is doesn't mean it also is. But that was a joke, so it's still funny.
Yeah, somebody said earlier, I forgot what I saw it in the chat, but they said talking about his campaigns. He got Kickstarter, and he says it's funny how it made like $5K in like few hours, but then by the end of the campaign, it only made an additional $280. For like in a few hours he makes goal, but then at the end, by 30 days he's only made an additional $200 and some. It's like,
yeah, there are ways of that people do fund their own Kickstarter, just like people used to bid on their own eBays, and maybe that's what he's doing, maybe not. And
it's like I saw that one guy. There was this one guy during I think, and y'all showed a clip of Vic Mignogna on the Wingcast earlier.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
During the that stuff, there was this one lawyer who was like trying to be like, get all the court docs, but the thing is, he couldn't afford it himself because he's like poor and he's can't afford anything, so he kept trying to GoFundMe. And then I one day going through his GoFundMe, we went through his like list of people who were backing him, and he backed himself.
Yep.
Oh, geez.
I was like, that's against the rules of GoFundMe. You can't do that.
Makes you wonder, like, you could just be anonymous, can't you? So, like, what?
Yeah. Why'd you log in and do that?
Well, the worst part is GoFundMe still gets their cut. It's like the episode of Sanford and Son. Yeah, you won the auction for your own item. You still got to pay the fucking auction house their cut.
Yeah.
Well, there's some sort of chicanery going on there when you're doing that, screwing around or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't he the same guy that freaking tried to go fund his lawyer something?
He tried to GoFundMe his CPAP machine.
I remember that.
Preston did?
Huh? No, not Preston. His name is T. Greg Doucette, and the Weebor community lovingly calls him Douchette.
Of course.
So because he's a big douche. But yeah, and and he did try. I know what you're talking about, Piper. He tried to fund it so he could get the paperwork to become a lawyer in Texas.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He wanted to get on the case. I said, nobody wants you on the case, Greg.
Especially if you're claiming to be a lawyer, but you have to use GoFundMe for everything. That tells people you're a very bad lawyer.
Click on Ed Filkins' comment for a second. He's saying he's trying to get confidence. I now know it's fake and will always be confident. So I don't think he's being sincere about that. Ed, are you being sincere? Are you trying to get confidence?
He might be just joking around with the chat.
You just joking? You're jiving? All right, you can tell us. Let us know.
You shucking and jiving in the chat there, son?
Shucking and jiving. That was cool.
Oh, confidence is real. The secret to getting by or getting confidence is faking it till you make it, though.
Yeah.
Pretend you have confidence. Eventually, with success, you'll become confident naturally.
Well, I have a saying that my pastor always told me, and I said I love that because he said when he was pastoring all through different towns and stuff like that, he could get 2 or 3 people to show up. Then he finally got him a decent good sized church to pastor in, and he goes, it took me 30 years to become an overnight success.
That's a good expression.
Yeah.
I've always had issues with my own confidence. So when I was sitting there turning out stuff and these guys are telling me, how good it is, or this is great, I'm like, don't you fucking lie to me.
Yeah. Why are you lying to me?
Yeah.
So he goes, yes, this is Ed saying, yes, I'm being serious. I have been lately gaining it. I have a lot of anxiety and shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for mentioning that. It is cool that you mentioned that.
But I'm happy for you, man, because that's kind of what I've been going through. These guys have been building me up, and now they tell me something's good, and I guess it's good then.
You have the best audio of anybody named Xavier on this entire fucking panel. I
Yeah.
want you to know that. It's a value to have you here. It's very how you.
When I came in before, I was on my phone headset.
Yeah, there's nothing to explain. Just revel in your greatness. It's fucking awesome. Ed Filkins, you make sure you follow me on Adam Post Speaks channel, because I'm going to start talking about this stuff before too long, because I've actually helped some friends with anxiety and things like that, and I know a couple of like little like things that just kind of keep things clear in your head and help you out. But yeah, I'm going to have to start doing some stuff on that content. Not going to hold back. It's my Comicsgate community. Anything I got, anything that's mine is yours, guys. We're gonna build each other up. We're gonna all be successful.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it through a couple of fires, you make it through some trouble. Unlike Cyberfrog Comics and Mike's Fireplace, but if you make it through some fires, like I haven't seen anybody burn College of the Dead yet. If you want to back College of the Dead and burn it, by all means, buy several for that purpose.
That's also say, if you want to, when we release Peregrine, if you want to buy it and burn it, by all means, you can do anything you want with it.
We'll give you the burnable tier.
Now that we brought that up, yeah, you see Kami Mark's burnable tier.
We went over that when he was on.
His tears are great.
Yeah,
brilliant. He's really brilliant. He's such a fucker too. He's such a fucker. He actually is a really nice guy. He's a good guy, and he's good people. But I had said on a stream like he might be a genius, and and he's like, "Oh, this is great." Someone said, I don't know, it was Captain Fuckhead caught it or somebody caught it, and they clipped my audio, and then he converted it to a picture of me next to me, like quoting what I said about him being a genius. And I was like, "All right, that was pretty good."
Nice.
My brother's a doctor. My brother is a doctor.
You could be like, since you'll be doing advice, you could be, that particular, segment or that show could be like
Dr. Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like you could be like a motivational speaker or something.
Yeah.
Well, I came from a family of teachers and whatnot, and the thing is, when you're trying to convey a point, you think about how to make it simple, have passion and sincerity about it, and consider the audience, and kind of go slow with people, and give them encouragement. To me, like, encouragement is gold. It's something that helps everybody. If you and you make it legit. Like if somebody's going in the wrong direction, you don't encourage them. But if they're going in the right direction, it's like, shit, this is what you need to do. Do more of this. That's why, like, I joke around with Carl Rowe, but he has encouraged me on some things that were really good. And of all of us, he is the best. He understands how to use email communication with backers and fans of our projects better than any of us, and probably all of us combined. And what that means is his skill set means the more of it that he can explain and we can kind of understand and see things the way he sees it, it makes Comicsgate more viable for all of us. And Ethan's very successful, and John Malin's successful, Zach's successful. They could be much more successful if they knew what is actually already in Carl's head. So I'm trying to kind of take pieces of it and help us to kind of get it. And it's made me think more about my publishing and what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
He's not really a commie. No.
Yeah.
Well, he's sort of kind of. He isn't kind of. But you heard that story of why he's called Kami Mark.
Yeah. He told us about that. Like how it was on a war campaign stream, and he had the flag was behind him. And they said they actually had a conversation. Do we allow commies in Comicsgate?
Yeah. Roe gave him that nickname.
Yeah, so he became the commie. Yeah,
but who has communist flags hanging in the back of their house?
We were trying to. He said if he had known that we were the bit we did, because our bit was we started off as when we had him on the show, we did a bit where we were commies also, right? So it was like
over or something. Yeah.
And
okay, communist. I remember the communist takeover show.
Yeah, so we were doing that, and then halfway through, I started like I'm pretending like I'm having convulsions, and then I start playing Real American, the Hulk Hogan theme, right, in the stream, and then like come back and like, we're back. And he told us behind the scenes, he said, if I had the time, I would have I could have done like a real quick switch where I would have changed the commie flag with the American flag. And
that's funny.
He keep all the playing of our what should be our real national anthem. Got so hyped that he became a capitalist again.
Wow. I I want to see him put out Not Daredevil, which I think he'll put out. I hope he puts out next.
Yeah.
That was hysterical.
Yes.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, when the other day when they were reading through it, oh my gosh, that was
Yeah, when he first went on War Campaign, you're talking about. Yeah, War Campaign was acting out the parts.
Yeah,
hysterical. That's brilliant.
And then the stuff he's got for the Kim Il Sung book is just so funny. Like
it's funny. It's a little odd the way it's formatted, and people don't really know the difference when they see those, Korean names. Like which dictator is it? So I got out of him that it's an alternate history if they had won the Korean War. But I'm happy that he's finally starting to publish. I think he's going to be really successful.
Yeah.
Man, Not Daredevil is coming.
See that even just the name of it, the way it's explained, it sounds like it's not coming, but it is coming out. Is what?
Yeah.
So we got to get an email list going for Not Daredevil ASAP.
The one thing I like is having when he had Kim Il Sung talking to these farmers, and he says I will command the crops to grow, and then they're like, you can't do that, and they start beating on one dude up. He said, you can't talk about dear leader like that.
Yeah. Hey, it's a rough place. Those communist countries are rough places.
Yeah, but it's actually great. We just don't know. We're not allowed.
He's a good example of it's more him selling his his personality or his shtick kind of than it is even like the comics itself.
Yeah, well, they're not drawn even. It's just
like
crazy lettering.
Technically, for comic standards, they're crappy comics, but because of the entire shtick that he does. And just what he named the tiers and crap,
but
he's making money.
Yeah, but the Not Daredevil comic is actually legitimately good. And I was asking him, I was on a stream with him. I'm like, how many of those did you send out? Because he was giving them away free.
Yeah.
He sent out 800 or something of them.
Yeah, I've got
800's a lot. It's a. I'm like, do you have everyone's email address? He's like, well, I could probably go get them in the chats. Man, if you had 800 names of people that were interested in seeing your crazy comic, which was really funny, and then he's ready to launch and he emails those people, he's going to get.
He would have had a good email list right there.
Yeah, I'll remind him to go. Captain F-Ed, will you get after him, please? About he needs to put the time in or have a couple people help him or something. Get the email addresses together of that, and then he can import it into MailChimp or whatever. If he doesn't know how to do it, I'll help him. Yeah, and we'll get that launched because he's going to make money with that book, and his shtick is he has insane shtick, and he's nonstop with the shtick, but he is funny. He's he's creative and funny, and if he'll just put it into a product, which I think he will with Not Daredevil and whatever else he does after, but puts it into a marketable product, he's going to have significant campaigns.
Yeah, the funniest thing he said on the stream when we were on him, he said every expense has been made to book.
We have great creative people in Comicsgate, so we have to really value people and figure out all right, how can we help? Does this guy have an issue? I know Scott is going to be Scott Doorkickers is going to be overseas. He was saying the other night in Germany for 2 years, so he really does need a publishing partner. So if he can kind of work with you guys, that's good. It's great for him, and it's a good opportunity for you guys, and it'll build everything. It's going to build the channel.
Yep. For weird money.
£2.
Best shit cover be me. Best shit book by Mark. I know he meant.
I like Captain Fuckhead's art. It's coming along. It's really coming along.
Yeah. He shouldn't sell himself short. He's getting better. And the only way you get better is to keep doing.
Yeah. He's going to be ready to draw a whole book if he's ready. When he's ready.
Well, I think we're almost at the 2-hour mark. So probably
pleasure.
Call it a day, and by call it a day, I mean go back College of the Dead right now.
Damn it, yes.
And if you don't, we're going to start playing Ultra Force clips in the next stream.
Ultra Force from Malibu?
Yeah. They had a weird cartoon for a season on the USA Network.
Do you have questions? I know Scott Rosenberg. Do you have questions for Scott about Ultraverse?
Yeah. Why was Hardcase going to be the lead character?
I'll get you answers to questions. Message me 3 questions. I'll get answers, actual answers to all 3 of them.
That's actually pretty freaking cool.
I will. Can you get it? Can we talk to him?
I don't think I can get him on
That
stream.
would be funny.
I don't think I can get him on stream. I might be able to.
What
I
if
don't
it's
even think I can get him on my.
Like I said, my biggest question is why did you lead your line with hard case instead of Prime? Because
Well,
it ended up being Prime
If
anyway.
you would type that to me, because I literally forget everything as quickly as possible.
Yeah, okay.
But it's also a good thing about not having anxiety either. It's just you put stuff out of your head immediately. Don't remember anything.
I was
Why
about
did
to
you
say
name-
refresh it one more time.
Why did you name a character Contrary?
Yep.
Yeah.
He has a character named. They made money on that series and sold like toys and shit. He did all right.
Yeah.
He did good.
I remember
make fun of the animation because it's like not great.
a kid I was in school with had a Ghoul action figure, and we'd have Ghoul fight Ghost Rider, who was also fighting somebody's Street Fighter figure.
Worked out. So anyway, like I said, go. People who watch this stream later. Go check out College of the Dead Graduation Day. It is still up and running. He's only been going for 5 days, so you got some time still to get in on it.
We need your support. Definitely retweet it. It's a huge help. Back the campaign. It would be great to have you. And the book will ship on time, June 2020. The book's already done. It's already lettered, finished, 48 pages, full color. Pick the cover you want, multiple covers. Get the one you like. We'll get that thing out to you.
There you go.
And I'd like to remind everybody, if you haven't already, please sign up for the Grade 8.5 mailing list so that you can be updated for all things Peregrine, all things Reconstruction, and all things Grade 8.5 that you know and love.
And there, we have that mailing list going, but we will also soon have a Indiegogo mailing list up. So we have a preview page coming very, very soon. So
The link to College of the Dead is in the description for people who are watching later.
Yep. And guys, if y'all, we will see you. We might do a show tomorrow night. I'm not sure because Mike Murphy is doing a nice closeout. He's going to do a closeout stream, and I got invited. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
So you guys in the chat, thank y'all so much. Like I said, there would be no channel. There would be no Graded 0.5. There wouldn't be a College of the Dead without you guys out there.
Absolutely.
So,
You are the kingmakers, and we
You
couldn't
are the
do this
kingmakers.
without you.
yes, we couldn't do it without you. You're the one that puts the money. Y'all put the money to the metal and let it ride. So we thank y'all so much. We will see you soon, and y'all have a great Friday and a great coming weekend.
Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Don't die of coronavirus. Bye-bye.
Yeah, don't even get sick of it.
Frick